in Newton as we are set to go. Giacomo Picardo has been quite good all year long for BC, but Gardner getting a chance here today against the Minutemen here in this Massachusetts rivalry game between these two teams. UMass out of the A10 and BC out of the ACC. Salagoon and Alejandro Zimmerman are there for the Eagles. Here's McPherson to settle it, and UMass will work through the back. As we said, the Minutemen are 4-3 overall. They've played very strong defense this year for head coach Fran O'Leary. Only 4 goals allowed for UMass in their first 7 games of the season, and 3 of those 4 goals have come in the last 2. Sigurdsson tries to center one to the middle, but turned back by Sean Allian. Out wide for Mike Susky for Boston College, one of the freshmen for the Eagles. Susky trying to create space, back for Joe Kellett, who's played every minute since arriving at BC last year as a transfer from UMass Lowell. Eagles coming in 4-2 overall in the season. They've dropped their last 2 games, both in ACC play, on the road to NC State, and then Friday against Pittsburgh, dropping a 2-0 decision to the Panthers. It'll be Ryan Saul, the senior from Petersburg, New Jersey, to come up and play it for UMass. Saul is a senior captain who played in 11 games last season. That is the most games that anyone in this UMass starting lineup played a year ago. There is not much returning, a UMass team with a couple of key injuries that's been a big factor. Ball settled here and knocked out by Adam French for BC.
Yeah, Saul making his 20th career start in 40 games, so he's only started half of his total games, to your point. That is the most experience the Minutemen have on their roster. So challenging expectations for a group, though, that's lived up to it with an over 500 record. Yeah,
Fran O'Leary's very happy with what his team has put together so far to this point due to some of those injuries. Another throw in to come for Saul, playing in his 40th career game through his UMass career, one of the few upperclassmen on this Minutemen roster. Ball will trickle out here. For UMass, the 2 big injuries are Yosuke Hanyu, the senior, who was injured just minutes into the first preseason game this year, and then Eli Cronin missing his 3rd game in a row. That is crucial injuries that UMass is having to deal with.
Yeah, not good. And again, you look at this opportunity here today in Newton to give other players a chance, and we're seeing the same type of situation for Boston College with a new goalie in between the pipes. So we'll see how each of these teams respond coming off losses, each team coming off 2 losses consecutively.
Salagoon with his soft touch for Lasse Lehmann, the German-born Eagles midfielder. Lehmann who steers wide as the Eagles try to develop. Again, have not scored, going back to a 3-2 win against Holy Cross on Tuesday, September 10th. So a 2-game streak there for Boston College, trying to get back on the board. Scoring was something that was an issue at times last season. It's something that Ed Kelly was keenly aware of. And he has a lot of new young strikers who he has the ability to go to when the Eagles need some kind of big goal. Zimmerman, the freshman from Costa Rica, is getting more playing time as the season has gone on. 20 in white on the near side. Victor Souza got it turned over, but then the lead pass was too far, and Gardner able to play it easily. It's Quinn Serafino up front, the freshman from West Springfield, Mass. Thought about going for it, but instead it's an Eagles possession, and Tyshawn Rose will push forward.
We should be in for a treat today. Just the 2nd career start for Christian Gardner, as you mentioned, from Orleans, Mass, on the Cape, enrolled in the Morrissey College of Arts and Sciences economics major. He made a start last year against Rhode Island and made 2 saves in defeat.
Pass across for Lehman was a little bit too high from Kellett, and it rolls out for a throw in ahead of Sean Allian. Allian, the junior back. This is an entirely new back 4 for UMass, and that's really where Fran O'Leary's surprised, but also, you know, why he's so happy with this group is 4 new in the back, and yet only 4 goals allowed in 7 games. Marvin Dorchin, the junior goalie, was born in France. A lot of minutes for this UMass team, played in 12 games last year. He started all 7 games this season for the Minutemen, posting an 0.57 goals against average, leading the conference. Ball goes out here for a throw. It's both teams still looking to settle into the early part of this game. Ball comes across in a dangerous spot. You saw how close that was to going for Harrison Tognella, the freshman from Austin, Texas.
Here's a challenging situation here for Gardner. His first real test, and his back line bails him out. We've discussed the young guns in the back middle for Boston College, just a bit of a miscommunication, and UMass can't capitalize on a great chance.
That's 2 turnovers already for Souza and back for Boston College. So the Eagles trying to settle into the early part of this game. And in terms of finishing, something that Fran O'Leary mentioned to us on our call with him this week, said we like the chances we're creating. The next step is really finishing those chances. So it's not about really changing anything significant. It's just keep working at what we're doing. And as long as the chances are coming, we're pretty happy with the ability to eventually find the back of the net. Another opportunity for a deep throw. Saul sends it in. Sigurdsson first on the header. Serafino then clipped it back. Header try from Chandler O'Dwyer. Tognello and Shapiro Thompson. Shapiro Thompson got held, so a foul against UMass in BC possession. Minutemen coming off a 7-8-3 overall season. They were 3-5-2 in the Atlantic 10. It's a UMass team just 2 years removed from winning both the A10 regular season and tournament championship in 2017. The first Atlantic 10 team since 1991 to accomplish both of those feats in the same season. Serafino works it back to Allian. Referee Victor Matheson blows the play dead, as they will check on Benjamin Wiemann, the freshman from Germany.
Well, there's got to be a lot of excitement with this UMass program, already at 4 wins, finishing with just 7 last year under Coach O'Leary in his 5th year, seeing progress early in the season. It's just very intriguing as both teams are coming in on similar spots. This didn't look good.
Yeah, that right foot just got out and then got caught under there. Weemann's going to stay in.
Well, it just shows what they think of him and the potential he brings as a freshman to the back line for UMass at 6'5", 196. Certainly a threat and someone that does not go unnoticed in the middle.
Susky fell down as Zimmerman tried to thread that ball across. Susky had slipped, so it goes out for a UMass throw. Decent amount of wind blowing here in Newton, so that'll be a bit of a factor here today on a brilliantly sunny, now fall Tuesday afternoon. Ball goes out here, and you're right, passing right now for Boston College. A little bit of miscommunication issues for Ed Kelly's team early on in this game.
Yeah, and obviously he's not pleased with that, and they're trying to get off to a good start. They've struggled to do so, each team feeling each other out.
Wiemann continuing to push forward. Ball threaded by Tyler Mann, but goes through before it could hit Serafino.
And you can't help but wonder, does the change to go into number 30 on your screen now in the goal, does that change the chain of communication, the dialogue that filters through the back line? We'll have to watch throughout the course of this game today to see if that does have an effect. I don't think Ed Kelly would call that an excuse. Anyone that steps in, it's next man up for any coach.
You can hear Ed Kelly through our crowd mic asking for a little bit more urgency from his team. 10 minutes into the first half here in Newton. Ball goes out here, and a throw-in coming up for Boston College and Alejandro Zimmerman. Shapiro Thompson through 2 Minutemen defenders. But Veman is there. Push forward off of Serafino, and he got whacked with Sawagun, and those two get caught. It was a pretty hard hit, and then a little bit of extra physical play after the fact between those two, and that's a spot where Victor Matheson's going to have to come in and be aware of that early in this game, as Serafino was upset after that play. And I think Matheson's just going to go with a simple foul and then a warning. Make sure things don't get out of hand.
Well, 22 in maroon is not afraid. He's a freshman from just outside of the UMass campus, West Springfield.
Sigurdsson got almost upended there by Graham Brenner. It's turning into a bit of a physical game here pretty early on, Brent.
Oh, you said it from the start, Eric. Battle of Massachusetts. Bragging rights are on the line here, and I think this is a UMass team, as you've referenced from the start, a group that's been tested early. They've felt good about themselves. A couple of wins on the road, some home wins as well. A younger team with some injuries. There are guys taking advantage of their opportunities.
50-50 ball headed by James McPherson. Right back here for Sawagun.
And you get Boston College in an awkward stage of its season, coming off back-to-back losses, both in the league, sure, but they haven't had that winning feeling now in 2 weeks.
You can see it's been a while since the Eagles have lost to a Massachusetts side. They've tied a few over the last couple of years, but last loss was to UMass Lowell in 2016. A Lowell team that this UMass Amherst team just played in their last game. A game that finished at 1-0, but a game that Fran O'Leary really felt like he felt bad for his team. Felt like his team deserved something, some kind of result out of that game. Hit a crossbar in the 85th minute, was close to tying the game, but ends up as a loss. And that game combined with this one for Coach O'Leary really felt like it was going to be maybe the toughest part of his schedule. Those 2 games back-to-back against perennial NCAA squads.
Once again, UMass causes frustration.
There's Fran O'Leary, who one time was an assistant coach at Boston College. More than 30 years ago, he was here as an assistant coach right before Ed Kelly got the head coaching job 32 seasons ago. O'Leary has been all around New England and around the soccer world. He's in his 5th year now as the head coach of UMass. Long ball coming in, looking for Graham Brenner. Settled by Tognella, who's earned a starting role. Coming outside, and the save made by Christian Gardner on the shot from Tyler Mann.
Now we see the sophomore a little more vocal, some confidence, reeling that shot in.
Gardner, who played at the Brooks School in his high school days here in New England. His first career appearance was against Rhode Island a season ago, where he made 2 saves in a 2-1 loss to the Rams. Another one here between Serafino and this time Lasse Lehman, and the foul goes against UMass. So early on, that's 4 fouls against UMass already, 1 called against Boston College to this point. Tyshawn Rose will work back to Victor Souza, the outstanding freshman center back Souza, part of the new NYCFC Academy team. Team that won College Cup championship a year ago in the development level. Tognella pushing it forward. That hit off of Zimmerman. And Sean Allian will have another throw. Allian, who's a transfer from Franklin Pierce, leading Franklin Pierce to back-to-back conference titles before coming to UMass for his junior season.
Something tells me we're going to see a lot of Serafino on the screen today. Number 22 for the Minutemen, Quinn Serafino, a freshman, as we referenced, from Western Massachusetts, West Springfield.
Ball goes out here off of Zimmerman, so a deep throw for UMass. 15 minutes into this game, I think the Minutemen have to be happy with decent amount of play here. Brendan has been in UMass's attacking third.
Oh, we've seen already UMass frustrate this Boston College team at the midfield. We even saw a chance early in this contest for UMass to tack one on the scoreboard and failed to do so. They might look back and realize they missed a great chance. It's taken a lead here on the Eagles, but so far the physical battle has leaned the team wearing maroon today.
Rose got taken down by Harrison Tognella, the freshman. Comes from Austin, Texas. Played most of his high school time, though, at Marvin Ridge High School in North Carolina before finishing at Lake Travis High School in Texas. Shapiro Thompson trying to run after this one, but Dorchin out to play it for UMass, the junior keeper, who was the A-10 co-defensive player of the week on September 9th. It's a UMass team that went 3 games to start the season without a goal allowed. Long goal kick for Dorchin, headed by Souza. Ben Veman settled it down, and then Nathaniel Cardoza, another part of this new look back line, the starting left back, the sophomore from Southeastern Mass. Serafino trying to center one, Tognella in the area, but Souza calmly clears it away. We've seen the freshman center back with so much poise, Souza, this year for Ed Kelly. You have to have that as a center back to show, even as a freshman, stepping in, kind of never get out of control back there. And Souza and David Longo have been those two guys at center back for BC.
And there's more emphasis on what they bring to the table, Eric, today with, let's face it, an inexperienced goaltender at the collegiate level in Garner. There is more expectation out of the backs today to make him feel comfortable, and we've already seen to this point, Gardner is not afraid to speak up and direct traffic in front of him, which is a great sign.
Lasse Lehman couldn't reach that ball going out, so a throw in for UMass. Serafino and Longo, and then 3 white jerseys coming to help on Serafino, the freshman. That combination up front, Serafino and McPherson. And McPherson feels like with the addition of the freshman Serafino, it makes him a better player. Quinn has really credited McPherson for a leadership role. Those two working together, it's been obviously not making up for the loss of Yusuke Hanyu, who is out, leading scorer from last year, returning from UMass, but they feel like they've worked pretty well together.
I think McPherson sees where Serafino's coming from. He was in his spot as a young player, still is a young player, McPherson, only a sophomore, but understands that maturation process of bringing along yourself in your freshman campaign.
Folks, later this week, more top-tier soccer coming up for you. NC State, number 4, North Carolina at 7 o'clock on Thursday on ACC Network. And then on Friday, it's a men in the spotlight when Boston College heads to Blacksburg for a matinee with number 17, Virginia Tech. That's a 1 o'clock game on Friday. All of it comes your way right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Souza reaching for this one, pushes for Zimmerman. Lasse Lehman back for Zimmerman. Eagles trying to find some development right now. You know, pretty much we've gone this whole game, Brendan. We mentioned Susky a little bit, Sigurdsson, but right now UMass doing a pretty good job keeping it away from those top 2 Eagle strikers up front.
You can definitely tell it's been a while since Boston College has felt good about itself in the attacking third, and never mind when they get there, they have to get there first and generate chances. And they have been unable to do so because of what UMass has, chaos it's caused in the middle of the field or on the back.
That foul call was the 8th called already between these two teams. And a great opportunity for UMass. Chandler O'Dwyer is there along with James McPherson. Both. Now it is O'Dwyer. Got it through the wall, and it's just high.
What a chance for O'Dwyer.
Scouting report on him was a really good left foot, and we just saw it right there.
And our crowd mic picks up him saying, all right, guys, let's go. Let's get back here. We're fine. So it's still a positive attitude, but another missed chance. I'm pretty sure he was involved on that first chance early in the game as well when the BC back line was a bit discombobulated, but indubitably a great chance for UMass.
Allian on the throw-in. Every one of these 50-50 balls, it's been really physical in the early part of this game. That is going to be a factor here going forward, as we said. A lot of foul calls. 5 of them for UMass, 2 against BC so far. Zimmerman looking through the sun, settles for Sawagun. His pass looking for Susky, but Cardoza stepped up. Cardoza leading McPherson. Centering one over the head of Serafino, knocked down. And out to play it was Christian Gardner. But again, pretty good development by UMass, getting the ball inside the penalty box.
I thought it was a bit of a risky move by one of the BC backs that let the ball plop in front of Gardner. Must have been a situation in which he called him off, and there's Gardner asserting himself once more in the box, basically saying, this is me, I got this. And that's what you need when your team has struggled to score goals over the last few weeks in the last 2 games. A spark is what I think Coach Kelly is hoping for, and I think at this point, 22 minutes in, he would have hoped for a crooked number in the score column.
Well, once again, a big factor as well. The Eagles are again, at least right now, playing without Christopher Conradson. They're missing his 4th game here, at least 4th game out of the starting lineup for Ed Kelly. Here is Susky settling down. Ike Susky through the middle, and that'll set up the first corner opportunity of the game off of Sean Allian, the junior. Susky creating for BC. That's the speed of Mike Susky, the freshman from Windsor, Connecticut. First time the Eagles have gotten this far down, immediately leads to the corner. Shapiro Thompson on the delivery, bending, headed out by Benny Veeman. Zimmerman settling it down, couldn't get a shot, and Tyler Mann clears it.
It's a great job by UMass to herd the ball. Ultimately, after that corner kick, redirected to the top of the scoring box.
Deep one, easy for Dorchin.
I think for UMass, they're gonna have to take some chances defensively. In that case, Susky had an angle with his left foot, but credit to UMass. Allian, like you had mentioned, was hounding him, not giving him any breathing room, and Allian's a winner, back-to-back NE10 championships as a member of the Franklin Pierce team there, so great play. They'll have to have more plays like that to stay in this game.
The junior coming from Medford, Mass. Out ahead for Susky. Susky trying to find an opening, coming to the middle, got a little bit of space, but a good defensive play. Graham Brenner stepped up, Shapiro Thompson still on it. Now it's settled for Sawagun. Wide for Zimmerman on the cross, coming to the middle, and Brenner got another head. Tyshawn Rose taken away by Serafino. UMass trying to counter back the other way, but Longo just steers it in for his goalie, Gardner. Might have been the best development for the Eagles so far in the game.
Well, we said it pregame, breaking down this matchup, UMass has some solid underclassmen in the back, and Brenner anchors that group.
Last touch for Allian before Susky could get it. Shapiro Thompson for Sigurdsson, got caught, got knocked down right on top of the box. It was 1-on-2 with Sigurdsson, who stands at 6'3", 185, and a huge opportunity to come here for BC. Foul will go against Graham Brenner, the sophomore. That last hit. And the opportunity will come just outside the box. Shapiro Thompson, Sigurdsson there for Boston College. Big spot here in the first half off the foul call right outside the box. Sigurdsson, left foot, denied. Trying to go low. Zimmerman for Shapiro Thompson, got a lane opening and just missed the wide post.
Well, he knew it too, and he wants that one back. You can tell as he stares up to the sky. So as you said, the kick was denied initially. BC gets another chance. Susky almost acts as a pick to set up Shapiro Thompson, and that ball was inches wide to the right, and we remain tied up. Both teams have had some shots now.
The initial surge off the wall was pretty well played, but then all of a sudden it almost felt like everyone kind of stopped for a second, and there was this lane all of a sudden for Shapiro Thompson.
Yeah, like a sign of disbelief that the ball ended up in the box again, and that there was another chance to be had for one of these teams, and more so the Boston College side, that they had a chance as good as that one. So UMass did a terrific job initially, as you said, Eric, and to wind up giving another chance, they're fortunate.
Field was starting to change a little bit. A few more BC chances, so here comes UMass back the other way. Gardner comes out, double fist on it. But that one is out for a corner. So Gardner trying to come out and play that ball, and it ends up going out on the opposite side of the flag. Looked like it just didn't get clean contact off of his fist. Corner coming in for UMass. Header is just over the bar. Serafino with another beautiful opportunity, and he just missed high.
Well, the 6-footer leaps and has a chance here, leaping like a unicorn just over the crossbar, and another situation in which a player had a great chance.
I feel like unicorns would be bad at headers.
Well, right, they could use their horn and take the air out of the ball.
Yeah, you might take the air out.
We don't talk about airs and balls in New England. Didn't go over well with one football team.
That's a hard no comment. Chandler O'Dwyer had it taken away, and here comes the Eagles freshman, Shapiro Thompson, upended, and he got knocked to the ground. Play on for the moment as Shapiro Thompson went flying through the air for a moment. Whistle here will give possession to the Eagles. You can see what happens when speed meets nowhere else to go.
And that's Shapiro Thompson attacking with vengeance. I think he's still irritated with himself after missing that shot on that previous sequence. He was fast and furious to head to the attacking third and runs into a wall, a single wall.
Susky tried to thread it through, and Veman knocked it down. Definitely, yeah, it definitely feels like the field is changing here right now for BC.
Yeah, it feels like both teams are up and down for Boston College. Really impressed with Susky. It seems like he is a ball hawk. He is everywhere constantly. Whenever there's chaos or someone's on the ball, there's a scoring chance, there's transition. there's a breakup, there's a physical play. Number 11 in the white is in the vicinity.
One thing we have seen real time is that Lasse Lehman and Mike Susky have switched sides of the field. Susky, who started on the right side, Lehman on the left. Lehman's now on the right side. Here's Tyshawn Rose threading through. Sawagun's shot was blocked by Veman. First 15 minutes of this game, UMass had to be really happy with where the ball was on the pitch, but last 10-15 or so, it has been about the Eagles attacking third. Feels like as this game has gone on, the Eagles have been better about settling in a little bit.
Yeah, and I think having more possession time in the attacking third has allowed the defense to settle in and sort of digest the game plan UMass has had offensively, and that's allowed sort of a more consistent group effort across the board.
Here comes Shapiro. So Thompson with his speed, threading through to kill it, and Dortchit jumped on it first.
That's good sportsmanship by UMass.
Nothing intentional there. Kellett was just going full speed. Dortchin jumped out.
Oh, another beautiful pass coming up here. You said threading the needle, and that intended for Kellett. Nice move by Shapiro Thompson to create some wiggle room, but ultimately a collision with the goalie. And we'll get a look at the pass from right to left, and it stays on the right foot. Nice touch through the middle, but as we said, UMass has to take some chances to stay in it.
Susky, it got knocked down. It cleared out for a corner. Brenner just had to knock it over the goal line. Susky creating a good opportunity. The Eagles trying to go quick on the short corner. Susky bending one, back post header, off of the post. Eagles went quick trying to beat UMass, and it nearly worked.
That's a heads-up play by Susky, because you could see the reaction out of Brenner. Right after the stop, initially, he has a frenetic look on his face. Everyone, let's go. We got to pack the box here and get ready for a corner. They're going to try and chip one in without us recognizing.
And
it almost works.
Boy. That close off of the quick corner. They went short and it worked. Nearly ended up at a goal.
Well, at some point, one of these teams is going to break through, because each has had numerous chances. It is a game of inches. They say that about almost every sport.
Good pressure from Tyler Mann, and it forced Gardner to just knock it out. Ryan LeVay, who just checked in for UMass, the freshman, coming in for McPherson. Seen that a couple times. UMass probably going to pressure Gardner. As we said, only his second career game at the collegiate level, putting a little pressure on him, trying to create some of those turnovers. Already a corner kick off of a punch that went over the goal line. This one too far for Mann.
And Gardner's had experience playing for Ed Kelly at the club level, so there is some familiarity. There's a confidence level that this isn't the first rodeo for Gardner playing for Coach. But again, at the end of the day, players play, and there has to be communication between Gardner and his teammates. And that's where I think we've seen Gardner have some time to digest and settle in, with the ball being mostly to our left in the BC attacking third.
Eric Eberl comes in for UMass. Harrison Tognella will come out. Eberl, who is a grad student who spent time playing in Austria during his collegiate eligible years, missed 2 games before the Lowell game due to injury, so his second game back. Ball goes out of bounds here. UMass throw. With 10:37 remaining here in the first half from Newton. In a scoreless game between the Eagles and the Minutemen. Sigurdsson will set up Shapiro. Thompson led it a little bit too far, but still alive. Susky coming out wide. Mike Susky against Allian, coming to his left, and it is off the near side of the post. Folks, Saturday, another day of college football, and a triple header at that for you right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Syracuse hosts Holy Cross at noon Eastern. Then Wake Forest squares off against Boston College here in Chestnut Hill. And then at 7:30, North Carolina State and Florida State at Doak Campbell Stadium in the ACCN primetime matchup presented by Geico. Goal kick from Dorchin. Ball slides out on the sideline off of UMass, and an Eagles throw. There is the freshman Zimmerman getting the start today. That one stayed in for Serafino, but Longo never gave up position. Another UMass throw with under 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Stuck in the corner. As that one goes out, and it will be a throw-in for the Eagles. So a lot of defending there by Boston College on the near side corner. Possession traded back and forth. Now triggered to the center, got clipped, and then LeVay's shot ends up wide.
Oh, there's UMass again in this final 10 minutes, getting a chance in the attacking third. He got spun around at the end there, twisting like a tornado, and I think he didn't have as much emphasis on the direction of that shot because of the defensive prowess of that back line.
Ball went out off of the goal kick, so a throw in for Allian. Tyshawn Rose spinning off of O'Dwyer. Shapiro Thompson trying to get to it. Simple touch for Susky. Souza will work back for Gardner. So 7:27 remaining here in the first half. These opportunities feel like they're important for UMass right now. Controlled the early part of the game, but been a little bit fewer and farther between over the last 20, 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think UMass is fortunate it's still in this game in a tied situation. We had that chance in the first 5 minutes that they failed to execute, but they've stayed hungry, they've stayed in it. I think the physical battle will become more difficult to stay on top of because naturally, as you play a long 90-minute game, your stamina and your energy level just isn't there. But that has to stay up on a scale of 1 to 10, above an 8, I would say, throughout the course of the contest to stay on top of BC, because BC can rotate guys in and out to match the intensity.
Folks, Alan Fioravanti, one of the great facilities and operations folks here at Boston College, has helped us set up for many of these events and telecasts we've done over the last few years. He's leaving Boston College at the end of this week for a new opportunity, and we wish him the very best, and thanks for all his help with us, part of the ACC Network Extra, setting up all these games. So our thanks and all the best to Alan going forward.
Was he waving at that point to us? Did he know he was coming on?
Yeah, he was
watching on his phone.
Yeah, we're being told, yeah,
okay.
he's got the phone cam. And you can download the ESPN app and watch on your phone as well.
Well, so, we're a little busy.
Well, okay. Well, so is Alan.
Fair. Yeah, you got this.
Ball pushed forward here as Dorchin will play it with 5:44. It was more of a proverbial you.
Sure, yes.
Everyone listening.
You people understand.
On a sunny afternoon here in Newton.
May I add, it feels as if we are still in August, like early part of the season. Both teams are 6, 7 games into their years, and we're at the end of September. Gorgeous weather in New England.
Shapiro Thompson on the turnover in a dangerous spot, got caught. And you can see, for all the speed that Shapiro Thompson has, it's tough when there's 6 maroon jerseys in the way.
Yeah, sometimes I think he has difficulty controlling that speed, and oftentimes there's that adage of being aggressively patient, and I think there's a balance of the two. This young star is still adapting in his freshman season, but the motor is certainly there now. It's how he uses it and how he can change speeds effectively to weave by defenders and find the open man.
You can see the wind blowing on the flags on that shot as Zimmerman set to throw it in at the back of UMass right now. So it's just a little bit of a factor here today. O'Dwyer spinning one and on a bounce for Gardner. Couple of dangerous plays early for Gardner, but overall has been strong in his first start of the season.
I'm sure for him, an adrenaline rush to get the nod from Coach Kelly to start today. You better believe the sophomore is trying to sort of relay the same message from the coach. Let's finish these final 4 minutes strong. It's been nip and tuck both ends. More physical in the first part of the first half, but you don't want to make a mistake here in these final 4 minutes or so to cost you in the second half.
A little bit of miscommunication there between Zimmerman and Susky, so that ball goes out the goal line. Tyler Mann coming out for UMass. Christian Lebec, the senior from Charlestown, comes in. Lebec, who went to Boston College High School, one of 3 UMass players who attended BC High. Sean Alley in the right back will walk this one forward. On the throw-in for Serafino, got over his head. Flicked on and just over the bar from Ryan LeVay.
And there you have it, a dangerous play. It was closer than it looked initially after the shot was fired, and that's coming off a turnover from the opposite end of the field.
Gardner on the goal kick to the middle. Rose got the first head. And Sawagoon and Sigurdsson. Allian stepped up to play it for UMass, hit off of Sawagoon. So a throw in. All the way down for Longo, and he steers it out for the throw. So Longo wise to let it go out the side. And now 2 minutes remaining. Deep throw for UMass, and Ryan Saul will come in.
Well, he's got a cannon here throwing it in, so they'll get something close.
Tried to find Veman and was looking to deflect it off of Kellett, but it's ruled out off of the Minutemen. So Eagles ball with 90 seconds left in the half. Ben Veman, the freshman from Germany, at 6'5". He is a big force on those throw-in and corner spots for UMass in the penalty area. Kellett's got a head on this one. Lehman for Kellett. Can the Eagles change field one more time here at the end of the first half with a minute remaining? It's UMass on it right now. Centering ball comes through. Backhanded try from Serafino. Just trying to knock it off the back of his foot, but Gardner there.
Well, Serafino was in traffic. He couldn't put much mustard on that back foot shot. It's been mostly UMass here in these final 8 minutes or so in their attacking third. Let's see what Susky has something to say.
Got a little bit of space and a good save by Dorchin. That's all speed getting around the defense for the chance from Susky.
Well, Susky's been a blast to watch, I think, in this first half. He's been on the ball constantly. And in this case, credit to the goalie. Susky's been inches from pulling through here for BC, but it feels like we're going to be deadlocked at the end of the first half.
Final seconds come off, and indeed, 0-0 at the end of one half of play here in Newton. Shots end up 9-7 in favor of UMass, 3 of them on goal for the Minutemen.
For Boston College, that keeps things glued together. But as we've discussed, they had plenty of chances in that middle 15-20 minutes of that first half. They generated plenty of chances and moved the ball swiftly from one end to the other.
Ball goes out wide as the Eagles get started here in half number 2. Mike Susky working around. Clipping for Zimmerman, comes to the center and headed out. Turned by Mann, and that will go out right ahead of Beto Luna, who's in for the first time. Ball then came close to coming in upstairs in our booth.
Closer to you than me. I mean, I was hoping you'd pay attention.
I thought my reaction was impressive, and because no one saw it, I thought it was top notch.
Well, hey, how about a chance there to start off for BC in that opening minute? Ed Kelly has to be pleased, as he said to us at the start of halftime, too many square balls. We have to have a bit of more of a sense of urgency, as you adhered to at the beginning of the game. There was a lack of intensity, and UMass brought it. BC eventually reached it, and then I think went then some over it. So a good start for Boston College, nearly generating a scoring chance.
Salagoon trying to get it to Sigurdsson. Still loose there. Shapiro Thompson comes away. Sigurdsson now creating space and on the ground. Stopped by Dorchin. That's one where there's no way that should end up in an opportunity on goal. But Sigurdsson stayed with it for a long time and eventually delivered one on cage.
That's just a great individual effort by 23 in white for Boston College. Making something out of nothing. He was right in the middle there with Amos Shapiro-Thompson. And I think Shapiro-Thompson was the whole time trying to get it to him and place it in his lap to create that chance. As it turns out, UMass, for the most part, as Coach O'Leary told us, has been sharp. 2 teams that came ready to play today. Urgency, both teams have lost 2 straight. Of course, Boston College losing 2 straight league games, so there's a chance to kind of hit the reset button and regroup before that trip to Virginia Tech on Friday. Blacksburg, a tough place to play, so Eagles looking at this one as a chance to get on the board. They haven't scored now in what is 5 halves? So a long time coming here for a BC tally.
Shapiro-Thompson moving center, gets it through to Beto Luna. Dorchin got a save and then takes down Sigurdsson, and that sets up a penalty kick.
Well, there you go, a scoring chance in front of our eyes. Now, watch this move here to set up Boston College. Physical play by the goalkeeper.
Joe Kellett will take the penalty kick, be the first one of the season for Boston College. Kellett got it inside the post. One nothing BC as Joe Kellett scores his first goal of his senior season. So a foul against Dorchin right here on Sigurdsson. It leads to the penalty kick goal.
Powerful kick by the senior Joe Kellett from Norfolk, Mass. Former UMass Lowell Riverhawk, as you had described, coming over here has found a home with Boston College the last 2 years. Called upon, and while it seems pretty basic and an easy kick to make, a lot on the line with that kick. As we had just described, it's been a long time coming since Boston College has scored.
And not just, let's credit Beto Luna as well coming in. His first appearance of the game, did not play in the first half, and he's created a few opportunities, really pushing the ball forward pretty quickly. Zawagun settles it down for Shapiro Thompson. And here is Luna. Beto Luna out of Miami, Florida. Speaking of Miami, his hometown college will be here on Thursday. The Miami women's soccer team here to take on Boston College Thursday in a 7 o'clock game under the lights here in Newton on ACC Network Extra. Sigurdsson cutting back to the middle nicely against a big maroon wall in front. You can see how many players UMass has still behind the ball as the Eagles try to push forward, and really there was nowhere to go there for Sigurdsson. Ball off of Zimmerman and goes out of play. It's a tough road ahead for Boston College. All these non-conference games so important because look at the conference schedule ahead on the Fridays, playing the non-conference game on Tuesdays with Virginia Tech, Wake, and Virginia coming up. That Virginia Tech game is a 1 o'clock start on Friday, and it's a game that you can watch on ACC Network. Check your local listings for that coverage. It's the story every year with the way that the ACC schedule is created. UMass doesn't have this. UMass basically has their whole non-conference and then their whole conference, save for maybe a game or two. But the Eagles in the ACC every year, it's the non-conference game on Tuesdays, it's conference games on Fridays, and all of these Tuesday games become so important to try to get back on track.
Yeah, the case in point this week for Boston College. A couple of losses to league opponents, setting up this contest here with UMass.
Look at the speed of Shapiro Thompson, creating pressure, but Georgian got a good kick on it, knocking it all the way down the field. And Kellett cleared it out ahead of Serafino. O'Dwyer looking for man. Kellett there on the 50-50, and that ball was out. So a throw-in to come up for BC.
Those are all going to be tough games, those Tuesday games. Northeastern gave this UMass team a bit of trouble on opening night. That was a quality road win for UMass to go to Boston and get a win to open the season at the end of August. And Merrimack program that's much improved. So they are crucial to set you up. You can try different things. We're seeing that tonight for Boston College, going to a different goalie, going with Gardner to start, just his second career collegiate start. So you can mix things up and game plan for the upcoming weekend. But you also want to get wins in these contests.
Only takes a couple of ACC wins because of how good the conference is, how good your non-conference, or excuse me, your schedule and strength of schedule becomes just by playing so many ACC games to get in position to make the tournament. Just a few ACC wins, but you have to win your non-conference games as well. Sigurdsson out in front for BC. Coming to his left foot, Shapiro Thompson trying for the wide post, and is wide of Dorchin.
Feels like number 10's been a little more tentative away from the ball, and I mean that in a good way because I think he's trying to see the field from an off-ball perspective to set up his shot. Remember, a few times we were calling his name, bursting up the field with possession, then running into traffic, a wall of players or a player or two, he'd get sandwiched by UMass. I think you're starting to see the freshman try to see the game from other perspectives. In that case, he had a lot of room to breathe, laced it up, and just missed wide. A quality shot.
Zimmerman on the throw-in for the Eagles. Shapiro Thompson listed at 5'8" on the card, but boy, that speed is impressive. And you know, we use that word speed and fast, and what does it really mean? And anyone can be fast, but with him, it's the quickness and how quickly he can get up to his max speed. Kind of a 0 to 60 rating on the car. And, his is about as high as anyone that we've seen.
Yeah, he can change the gear. His motor is versatile. There's no question. I think the challenge for Shapiro Thompson is, like we had said in the first half, when to tone it down and then when to turn it back up and use it to be effective. Because at some point, when you run into a well-coached team like UMass that's hungry from the non-conference, wants to come up here and get a W, they watch a lot of tape and they're going to hone in on you. And with injuries as well, there's going to be a lot of attention to detail, and they're going to hope to shut down your strengths. And again, a strength of his is his speed. So when he utilizes it properly is when he's most dominant, and that's only going to come with more repetition.
Cardoza to man, and that one was ruled out. Beg your pardon, it was a foul that was called, so foul goes against the Eagles. Free kick from UMass just inside of the midfield stripe. Chandler O'Dwyer, big left foot, spinning towards the box, headed out by Zimmerman. And Mike Susky steers it back for Zimmerman. Nice touch as the Eagles look to counter. Tyler Mann came over and knocked it away from Susky. Then off of Zimmerman. So looked like momentarily a chance for a counter back from BC, but UMass was there on the answer. A 48th minute goal by Joe Kellett, a penalty kick goal, as the Eagles up 1-0 on UMass. Victor Souza playing against Serafino, and Souza will steer it to the side. You know, a name we called a lot early for UMass, Quinn Serafino, but Souza and company and back have done a much better job of keeping the ball away from 22 in maroon.
Yeah, 22 is a 6-footer that was aggressive. He tried to get in the heads of the backs, and the backs for Boston College were busy trying to assimilate to a new goalie, a goalie that they have not played much with in a game situation.
Ball bounces dangerously through everyone and then cleared from the back. Sawagun got the touch on that long throw. Saul, header to the middle. Nobody could direct it. Follow up by McPherson was wide, and it clipped off of an Eagle and sets up a corner kick. Corner kick number 3 today for UMass.
And there he is, the man we had said had gone MIA.
Deep corner, goes through everyone. And it's awarded another corner that was clipped, was ruled off of BC by Victor Matheson, our head referee. So another corner coming from the opposite side for UMass.
And Sol is right in the middle of your screen right now, in front of Gardner. He's number 19. He's 6'3".
O'Dwyer steering one. BC got the first head on it. Out for Cardoza. Hit off the side of his foot. Goes right to Susky. Trying to lead Shapiro Thompson. What a good job by Sean Allian to steer that ball to the side and what could have been very dangerous. And then back at the other side of the field, with advantage being played, now the whistle comes, and we'll check on the injured Eagle down after the opportunity on the corner kick. Stefan Sigurdsson, who may have a trip to the dentist in his future. Obviously have to be very careful anytime the head comes in. Sigurdsson was the one who got the first head on it for Boston College.
Was he always this ugly?
23 in white right in the middle. And I think it may have been when he kind of landed on Sawagu, and the combination of getting hit in the back of the head and then coming down awkwardly. So Sigurdsson will come out for now. Anytime it's a head injury situation, they will come off and make sure he is okay. So it'll be Eagles ball as they go back to midfield. Victor Matheson sorting everything out. So the throw will go all the way back. And substitution will be able to come in. So Sigurdsson ruled to be okay. He will come right back in. It was UMass possession when the whistle was blown, so that's why the throw goes all the way back to Dorchin, who can play it, and on we go here from Newton. Zimmerman pushing for Lasse Lehmann. Joe Kellett wide for Beto Luna, who couldn't corral it before going out. Hasn't been a ton of substitutes in this game. Eagles have had one sub, Luna so far. UMass has used 3 beyond the minimum. Shapiro Thompson trying to get possession of it. O'Dwyer lay it back for Graham Brenner. Setting up wide for Eberl. The Eagles coming back. Shapiro Thompson touching for Lasse Lehmann. Allian got it ahead off of Eberl, and now McPherson for Serafino comes in, and that's a right arm coming hard against Lasse Lehmann for BC. The Huddle is our signature football show hosted by Jack Collinsworth with analysts Eric McLean, EJ Manuel, and Coach Mark Richt. And they will preview the entire weekend slate of games to keep you updated on all things ACC. The Huddle airs Friday night, 8 Eastern, and then Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. A lot of big games this weekend coming up across the ACC Network. Capped off by that Florida State NC State game in Tallahassee in prime time.
Yeah, Demon Deacons are in town to take on Boston College.
Big one, both the ways. Demon Deacons sneaking into the national rankings this week. Joe Kellett played ahead to Beto Luna. And of course the Eagles will be on ACC Network on Friday at 1. The men's soccer team taking on Virginia Tech on the road in Blacksburg. That one up towards our camera guys.
Hope they move just like you did earlier. With elegance and fluidity.
I imagine nothing less. Joe Kellett will settle down for Boston College. 15 minutes into the second half, he shot the shots in favor of BC 4-1. So far in this second frame, and the goal in on the penalty kick. Sawagun knocked to the ground by O'Dwyer. That is the 12th foul called against UMass already today. Couple of corner opportunities for UMass so far. Otherwise, though, not a ton of chances. Victor Souza will play over for Lungo. Two dirty center backs. Susky leading Shapiro Thompson wide. Sigurdsson in the middle. Shapiro Thompson delivers. Low ball headed out by McPherson. Joe Kellett with some room. Coming to the middle, header by Susky. A little bit too far out to get too much velocity on it. And Dorchin plays it.
Well, from one coast to the other, Pacific to Atlantic on the delivery using the header. And then back in the middle for Susky, as we had mentioned, he was in the middle of everything in that first half. And once again, a ball hawk.
Time, Joe, time.
Joe Kellett with a lot of space in front.
Across. Come in, Doc. One turning hard. Man.
Eagles working through the back at the moment. Lehman gonna lead Sigurdsson. Got over the head of Brenner, and then Sigurdsson taken down. Foul called against UMass. Take a look at this one as Sigurdsson trying to sneak behind. And that right arm of Brenner popped out, and they did rule a yellow card. Comes out against Graham Brenner. Seventh yellow card of the season. Go against UMass. Susky to take the free kick after the 62nd minute yellow. Tough spot here for Dorchin, looking through the setting sun. Susky can get it over the wall. Into the wall. And the Eagles will play from the back. Long ball for Susky now, trying to get behind Allian. And Allian does a good job to play position. Actually hit off of UMass, so a corner coming up. Eagles have gone quickly on the corners once or twice before. Opportunity, short corner. Susky from Shapiro Thompson. Susky cutting in, coming to the center, headed out. Throw in for BC.
Well, we know there's urgency on this UMass side, given the obvious being down and being in a hole here, but I think there's urgency as well from UMass, from Boston College. Given it is just a 1-0 lead, they've generated one score thanks to a penalty kick. They've made a change here, French checking in.
Sigurdsson will come out, 2 subs for UMass as well. Shapiro Thompson trying to get it out of the corner, leading Susky. Mike Susky coming through and was over the goal line by the time he tried to pass that back. Those subs for UMass, Tongnella came in, as well as Ryan LeVay. So a dangerous opportunity there, starting with the free kick, then the corner, but UMass does a good job defending all of it. Russell Lehman getting in front. Beto Luna, a lot of running room to track it down. Kellett off the back foot looking for Luna. Chandler O'Dwyer came in the way. O'Dwyer, long ball, tiptoeing the side. And it's pushed out by Victor Souza.
Nice idea by Kellett and Luna, aiming for a give and go, but UMass has been sharp, as we've discussed, defensively. They've got some young backs just like the Eagles do, and they've been on top of their game.
Out for a throw-in for UMass. Well, right now, if you're Boston College, you have to be happy as the foul there goes against Souza. With how much you're still forcing UMass to defend, considering that it's the Eagles, the team with the lead right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I just come to think of it, UMass has been right in the mix, outshooting BC by just one today. And from top to bottom, there have been some inconsistencies, but I think their physicality really threw Boston College for a loop early on.
Off of the free kick, headed down. And some of it has been these counter opportunities with how quickly the Eagles take the UMass advantage, go the other way with it. Cardoza's stepping up to play it, trying to lead Serafino. Souza comes over, absorbs a hit, keeps it in before clearing it out. Throw in for Nathaniel Cardoza. Left back sophomore from Southeastern Mass. Shapiro-Thompson got it back, going wide for Susky. 3 behind the ball still for UMass. Susky making a move, left foot off the bar. How many times has Susky toyed with that near side?
Sometimes it feels like he can't catch a break, but his activity off and on the ball opens up windows for others, and here he is spinning the defense around a spinorama. Heads up play by the goalie to push over, but at the end of the day, that shot had the proper elevation, inches off from being a potential detonator for BC to go up 2.
Feels like there's more to come. I mean, Susky's got 1 goal right now, but you can just see his skill level and his ability and what is in there as the freshman. It's all speed. I mean, it's all skill and speed with the ball as he is getting around some of these defenses to create those opportunities for himself. And the more he does that, the more he's going to find where that right angle is. And rather than toying with the post, he's going to be toying with the back of the net.
Yeah, I think it's IQ and awareness, too. He just has a great feel for the game. And in the right spot at the right time for when there are opportunities to be had. It just feels like he knows his teammates, he knows his freshman teammates especially, and he winds up being in the proper spot because he just has such a nose for the sport.
UMass coming back. Allian for Tognella, and that one is wide. The net all the way. 1 goal on the board so far for Boston College. It came off a foul in the box by Dorchin right there against Sigurdsson, led to the penalty kick, and Joe Kellett just sneaking it inside the left post to give the Eagles a 1-0 lead, which still stands at this moment here in the second half.
Dorchin, his inexperience sort of kicking in as far as this year's concerned. But, yeah, just a play he'd probably like to have back. And BC, at the end of the day, capitalized.
Shapiro-Thompson turning one on the ground. And Dorchin is there with the save. Second half shots really continuing to add up for Boston College at this point. It's now 8-1 in shots in the second half in favor of BC after a fairly even 9-7 in favor of UMass in half number 1.
Yep, and that makes, we had discussed during the halftime break, felt like UMass was in a great spot, controlled tempo, they controlled the physical battle. Coach O'Leary joined us prior to the start of the second half. He loved his team's press. They were up and active in the jerseys of Boston College, making it difficult, making them uncomfortable. And that's sort of the DNA of this UMass team. He admitted that. And they like to do that to the opposition. And it's worked, really. I mean, 1 goal allowed, it's a penalty kick. And we could go back and rifle through 6, 7 replays of just chances UMass has had, and they've come very close.
Christian Lebec comes in for Tyler Mann. Stefan Sigurdsson in for BC for Beto Luna. Sawagun coming down with it. Got caught 1-on-2, but the pass for Serafino too strong from Lebec. Eagles can do this when they are playing from in front, when they're not chasing the game. They can get into this possession attack. And it's just been few opportunities for UMass ever since the Eagles have had the 1-0 lead. You almost feel like the Eagles are the one trailing on the board with how they've controlled possession here in the second half.
Yeah, again, I think it's a combination of a few things, right? The one goal they've scored is on a penalty kick, and I think they just feel fortunate to have that chance. But like you said, Eric, there's lots to work on in these games as you prep for a tough test on the road in Blacksburg on Friday night.
O'Dwyer, dangerous spot, twisting towards the back of the box. Away from Serafino, and it is out for a corner kick for UMass.
Who's on 19?
I'm on 19.
O'Dwyer will again take it. O'Dwyer, low ball. Sigurdsson got a head on it. Allian playing it wide for O'Dwyer. Another left foot entrance. Longo knocks it down. And here come the Eagles. Zimmerman trying to lead Susky ahead. Cardoza, though, first on it with the left foot. Followed up by French. Out wide, Shapiro Thompson. Eagles onside. Shapiro Thompson blocked. Flipped on Tognella. LeVay trying to force it forward. Longo will play it back for his keeper, Gardner.
Step up, boys, step.
Game maybe starting to open up a little bit with 18 minutes remaining. 1-0 lead, Boston College. Ball too far, would have had Lebec offside. And it rolls out for a goal kick. Good sequence there, back and forth. Gardner got it for Sigurdsson. And look at Shapiro Thompson work. You know, Ed Kelly mentioned the height of this UMass team, but Shapiro Thompson and Susky, 5'8", 5'9", still getting to as many balls as anyone.
Yeah, they have a nose for the ball. That they love the game, which is pretty it's pretty obvious. But again, I think they realize that there's a lot to be had here in these games, and UMass is not making it easy on them. I think they might just be keeping the foot on the gas pedal because they realized there was no other option to create space and to create chances in the first half. They were not going to catch any breaks from that UMass back line. And maybe they've eased up a bit, not because they've wanted to, but like we had said earlier, when you play a long game and you rely on young players to play 80 minutes of action, 80 to 90 minutes of action, it's a lot to ask for.
And especially, you know, in a game like this, UMass coming in, Fran O'Leary's very open about it. He said, we know the challenge that this BC side presents. We're not a deep team this year with how young that UMass is in this 2019 season. And that's really when we talk to coaches, the non-conference games that BC plays, and a lot of times you hear, you know, we feel like our starting 11 can match up in a lot of cases, but it's that depth factor that's a little bit different going up against these ACC teams. and coming off of a game against Lowell, who's been a perennial NCAA tournament team. They were a ranked side last year. Two very difficult games that Fran O'Leary said are as challenging maybe as any game we're going to see in Atlantic 10 play this year as a whole. So knew it was going to be a challenge to find any kind of result over these two games. 1-0 loss to UMass Lowell, down by the same total here with 15:30 remaining. UMass, who came in picked 9th in the A10 preseason poll after finishing in that same spot last year. VCU, who was 6-1-1 in the conference last year, picked first once again in 2019.
It's a conference with a lot of teams over 500, but to your point, same goes for the ACC. If you can win 3-4 games in conference, you're in the mix to get an NCAA tournament berth, but that goes with the understanding you take care of business in the non-conference.
Sigurdsson comes to the middle, nearly turned over, but Lasse Lehmann with a good play, and the Eagles coming back. Sigurdsson wide for Adam French. French setting up back for Shapiro Thompson. We'll wait for the opportunity. LeVay came back, got in the passing lane of Lasse Lehmann. Lebec pushing it forward right along the sideline. It stayed in for Serafino. Coming to the middle for LeVay. UMass setting up a chance to try. Lebec wide. Alley-in is high again. They've been flirting with that crossbar all day as UMass.
This is a pretty look, and again, UMass had that edge in shots. Not exactly sure why Boston College was letting up a bit defensively. You can see the arms of Tognella go up. He's sort of wondering what's going on here, guys. So they catch a break.
Tyshawn Rose comes back in for Amos Shapiro Thompson for the moment. With 13:30 remaining here in the second, 1-0 lead for Boston College. Joe Kellett going to take his time on each of these throw-ins as much as possible. With the Eagles up a goal. Goes back for Souza. UMass has put a lot of pressure on all day. You would imagine that ratchets up. Lasse Lehmann weaving through Sigurdsson for Kellett along the sideline. Lehmann works it back for David Longo. French got behind Cardoza, pushing up a little bit. Back for Lasse Lehmann. Rose again content to work it back for Longo. Eagles putting on a clinic on how to take time off the clock right now. Gardner steers it out. Throw in for UMass with two subs coming in for the Minutemen. James McPherson comes in as well as Tyler Mann. So the starting 11 back out there for the Minutemen.
Hey, look, Vic, come back, Vic, come back, come across, right? Touchdown behind!
Lone goal still is a penalty kick goal by Joe Kellett in the 48th minute. Off of a foul committed in the box by the keeper Dorchin against Sigurdsson. Wide for Tognella against Rose. Kept in. Tognella still alive, coming to the mid. Oh, and it is wide. Another close opportunity for UMass. Gardner, who I think went awkwardly into the post, was down for a moment.
They love the crossbar, as you said. This one did not tick off the white. but awfully close. And this UMass team will not give in. They won't stop. It's just a 1-0 game. But there might be a case here. Sorry to cut you off, Eric. There might be a case here where BC's back line might have to be the aggressors, just as UMass's back line has been, up at the top of the box.
Beto Luna back in for Sawagun. Luna, who came into the beginning of the second half and was part of the new energy that sparked the foul that eventually led to the penalty kick goal. You don't get to keep the souvenirs in soccer like you do in baseball. You can feel the urgency from UMass starting to pick up here a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. And on the subject of birthdays, if you had a Sagittarius birthday, you could get a loose puck in the wintertime. Hockey season is coming up in November, December time frame. That's when the Sagittarius birthday is. So not necessarily a soccer ball unless you play deep into the month of November if you reach the NCAA tournament, which is a hope for these teams.
Yeah, Eagles certainly hoping to get there. Maybe a trip to North Carolina, College Cup, ACC tournament. UMass trying to play postseason soccer. Should they qualify for the A10 tournament, it would be the 5th year in a row that UMass would qualify for their conference tournament. That would be the first time in school history they've done that. This stretch of making it 4 years in a row is the second time that UMass has accomplished that in men's soccer, winning the A10 championship a couple of seasons ago in 2017, the regular season, and the conference tournament championship.
Well, this rendition of the UMass Minutemen could cause havoc in the A10. The way they've played, as you said, UMass Lowell, one of the best in the America East Conference, consistently a top-tier team in that league. And then you have a team here from the ACC in Boston College who has dominated, as we've referenced and showed, has done fairly well against New England and Massachusetts schools over the years. So there's no question that this UMass team's up for any challenge.
Gardner will play this one with the pressure from Ryan LeVay, the freshman. Again, as we've mentioned, it's a young UMass group. It's going to continue to grow into itself as the year goes on. The starting 11 today responsible for just 1,800 minutes a season ago. 10% of the total minutes played by UMass last year. Just shows how much. That's outside of Dorchin, who played 11 games last year, but the other 10. Just shows it's not much that's come back. And a lot of that has to do with injuries, with Cronin out right now, expected back at some point. And Yosuke Hanyu, who's out for the season, an impressive striker. 14 newcomers on the roster this year for UMass, who lost 13 from a season ago. But Fran O'Leary feels like, listen, young team, 4 goals allowed, 7 games, now 5 goals allowed in 8 games. That's pretty impressive, and he's going to take that. Another game where he's going to feel like they had chances too.
Yeah, and young players love that selling point in recruitment for Coach O'Leary. Immediate playing time when you arrive on campus. That's exactly what a lot of these young men are getting. And as you said, they've had a hard time putting goals in the back of the net, but they've prevented a lot of balls from fluttering to the back of the net. And that is a lot to look forward to. And they've still got a couple, rather, this is it. I misspoke. This is it as far as what they've got left here. They have one more with Yale in the non-conference. Yale is in mid-October, but this is pretty much it. They're going into Atlantic 10 play. After today, they play 4 consecutive games in conference, starting at Dayton this coming Saturday.
Under 7 minutes remaining here in Newton. Eagles have a 1-0 lead. It's Luna pushing Sigurdsson, and that one was a knuckle puck delivered high and up over the net. Thing was starting for the right corner and then heading wide left. See the power in that young freshman shot. Sigurdsson from Iceland. How about this?
He's a nice player. Way to create some room with that extra tap using his long left leg. He is 6'3".
Whistle comes out as that one was up towards the head as Beto Luna got caught. There's some blood there as well as Luna is bleeding after that collision as well. Sigurdsson calling for the Boston College training staff. Player down for UMass as well. Victor Matheson was immediate there and pulling both parties away from each other, stopping the clock with 5:53 remaining. Yellow card comes out on Beto Luna. But more importantly, we check on the health of everyone involved.
I don't have a red on that. I just have reckless, not that he intentionally targets that. Change the time, let's go. Clearly a foul, clearly a caution at least. I'm giving the caution.
You can actually hear a little bit of the explanation. A yellow card, not a red card. Victor Matheson says that was Nathaniel Cardoza who is down for UMass. So still checking on Cardoza. And there you see with Luna getting caught as well. Hard collision here between two players late in the tight game going at it, and yep, both just getting caught up high.
Oh, his tooth came out too. You can see his tooth fall on the turf. So that is what's going on here with Cardoza. He was knocked in the face and his tooth came out.
Cardoza gave a thumbs up there to some of his crowd across the way. So positive side there. A scary moment on a 50-50 ball through the middle. And if you like seeing dental paraphernalia,
Wait, we got VAR.
That's gotta hurt.
hopefully the tooth fairy will pay a visit to Mr. Cardoza's dorm later today, but that is a scary situation here. Now becomes a little bit odd, fairly serious situation on both sides. And now UMass at a point of the game where they really need the momentum to kind of carry them forward. Trying to adjust here. As we look at it one more time. The referee, Victor Matheson, is overlooking at this at the moment.
Big five. That's who you have.
It's Luna and Cardoza both dealing with dangerous situation in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too is you got to also look at the other issue of potential concussion protocol situations. Clearly, hit to the head, hit to the face, those types of things come into play too. So, player safety is a priority, and we'll get a look at this one more time.
Again, the officials are looking at this one as Matheson taking a look downstairs. They're moving the clock back to 6:10, so about 20 seconds put back on the clock there, and it is staying as a yellow card. Matheson explaining the situation. Did seem like the right call. Both players going for it. Clearly a foul, clearly a yellow, but nothing more. As Matheson explaining to Coach O'Leary. So UMass will start with a free kick with it. Chandler O'Dwyer Ball gets moved a little bit farther back. So again, how do you kind of restart the momentum here of the development necessary to get a goal? Try to tie this game if you're UMass.
I think you look at it from the sole standpoint of one of your players just gave himself up in a tightly contested game where you've had so many times in which you could just throw your arms up and say, what else can we do? We've come so close, we've come inches away from tying this game. And one of our own in Cardoza loses a tooth. I mean, how would you not want to play for that guy?
The whistle came on the first foul right here with Rose. That's where the whistle came. And then after the whistle, Sawagun got knocked down by LeVay. And Victor Matheson gave LeVay just a warning after the fact. And what's been a physical game all day, 18 total fouls between the two clubs today. Ball goes out there. 5 minutes left as UMass trying to come back down a goal. Dropped a 1-0 game to UMass Lowell last time out. 2-1 game to Bryant before that. Trying to end this two-game losing streak. BCU's lost 2 in a row, their first 2 ACC contests. Sigurdsson knocked to the ground as Ryan Saul trying to create positioning. Clock is continuing to roll here as the Eagles will take some time. Victor Matheson, who's had to work hard here over the final couple of minutes of this one. Souza delivering wide for Mike Susky. Got pushed away by Sean Allian. UMass again having to go the full length of the field. With 4 minutes remaining, down a goal. Allian on the throw. They play on after that. Contact on the sideline. Urgency certainly here for UMass, but not yet rushing. Eagles though on the takeaway. Sawagun got his right arm caught, not called. Joe Kellett settles it down. Kellett for Sawagun, dangerous position, coming across, headed back out. Still loose for Kellett in the middle, got between 2 defenders, and on goal for Dorchin. Eagles have done a nice job taking time off the clock here.
Yeah, and I'm sure BC's got to be thinking internally, and some of these players individually in their minds, man, this UMass team won't go away. They will not give in.
Gardner comes out to play it, dives on it. With 2:55 remaining. UMass find an opportunity. Squirts to Susky. Mike Susky still on it. Got taken to the ground. Good play and back by Graham Brenner.
Susky slowed up a tad as he entered the box, hoping he could catch a UMass player off guard, then switch feet and muscle a shot home, but credit to the UMass defender for staying on top of it.
For LeVay, couldn't head it on goal. Ronaldinho Denise will come in for the first time for Boston College. As Mike Susky coming all the way across the field. Clock stops with 2:10 remaining on the sub. So Denise will come in for the first time, the senior from Brockton, Mass. Goal kick for Gardner off of the restart. Fresh legs and Denise, a speedster at the forward spot. Caught in the midfield. McPherson forces it forward. David Longo to play this ball and let it roll out for another goal kick. UMass has been able to push it forward a little bit, but has not yet had any real opportunity here to try to tie this game in the final 6 minutes ever since the collision.
Yeah, I think since the collision, they've been sharp defensively. They've been on their toes. They've been disrupting passing lanes. They've been on top of a player in stride on a single ride along the field. So they've been gritty. They've been attacking on defensive end. But credit to the Eagles, too. They've been sharp, preventing any type of lapse or lack of judgment. Coming up on a minute left here.
Free kick for Chandler O'Dwyer. Left foot in, headed by Lasse Lehmann. Punch back by O'Dwyer. Souza comes up to play it, does so on the ground, but got it out enough. Rose steering it to the sideline. 45 seconds remaining. Serafino content to take a little bit of time, set up the throw. McPherson got some room, left foot coming far side. First head BC, second head O'Dwyer, still loose. Cleared out by French. Turned back to the box, now clears out. 20 seconds remaining in the game, and the Eagles free are a 2-on-none coming back. Sigurdsson trying to run out the final moments. Ed Kelly yelling corner. Sigurdsson's gonna take it there, take the final seconds off the clock, and the Eagles will escape with win number 5. Joe Kellett's goal in the 48th minute on a penalty kick, enough